Hello, this is Ravi Ozarkar, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to model rigid slabs. So, in the first video, I'm going to show you how to create the model easily using GT Menu. So, I've launched GT Menu, and I'm going to launch the Model Wizard tool. In the Model Wizard tool, I'm just going to accept all the defaults that you see on the screen. And let me go back and check this box called Add the gravity load or self weight, and let's click on finish. Done. And here is a quick building model that's been created. Now to view the plan view, I can press the hotkey XZ, and what I'll do here is I'm going to delete some beams here just to create some structural irregularity as per the ASCE 7 code. Okay, so I'm just going to highlight all those beams in plan view, and I'm going to go to member data and delete those beams. Now deleting the beams will leave some nodes. I'm going to delete those nodes as well using this command, and you'll see those nodes are gone now. Okay, so that is the check model command that we see. Now here we have the viewing options available. Okay, so these are all default views, but we can create new views as well. So I'm just going to add new views, and I'm going to create several views along the elevation of the structure. So we're going to create some plan views. And this is a 5-story building, so we've created 5 floors, as you can see. Now, what I'm going to do now is export this model out to a GTI file, and I'm going to give it a name and just call it maybe b1.gti. And because we're going to be using it now, I want to show you another feature available inside GT STRUDL that will allow us to basically export out a view. So we click on a view, go back to the same command, file, generate GTI file, and here there's an option to just generate a GTI file based on the view. Okay, now let's take a look at that file that's being created. Okay, so I'm just going to exit out of GT menu, and let's just go in and save this file, and we'll just go in and create a new session of GT STRUDL. So that'll bring you to the front screen, and this time you can model using any of these ways, but we're going to go in and use GT menu to visualize that view file that we created. So I'm going to go to open GTI file, and here is that file with just one floor in it. Okay, that view that you see. Now in this view, I'm just going to go to this option called, let's see, we can go to maybe check model data here, and let's go to this command, and this will allow us to basically see the center of mass of this particular floor. Okay, so we see the coordinates, exact coordinates here on the left-hand side window. I'm going to go in and select just those items and copy them into Microsoft Excel version that I have. And I'm going to go here to my browser and paste those lines. Okay. And I'm just going to do some formatting here to make this look a little bit better. And here I'm going to go to data, text to columns. And what I'm trying to do is basically create an Excel spreadsheet that lists the X, Y, Z coordinates that we have extracted out, which represents the center of mass of that one floor. Okay, and let's call that node number 1000. Let's say we'll just give it a big number, and then we'll just type in 1002. And for the folks that 1001, so the folks that are very good at Excel, we know that we can just automate this and create nodes very quickly in increments. Okay, so we want it to be 1000. Actually, let's go in and change this to 1001. Okay, and 1002. So node number, the node on the 5th floor should be 1005. Okay, now this building has a uniform layout of beams and stiffnesses. So basically, the center of mass location is going to be the same, but the height is going to be different. So I'm just adding 12 to each of those node points and the x and the z coordinate is basically the same. The y changes. Okay, so we have created those nodes in this Excel spreadsheet, and I'm going to type in the floor numbers. Okay, so this is floor 1, floor 2, and let's see, I think if I know Excel, I can just highlight that and stretch that to create the remaining floors. Okay, so we have floor 1 to 5. Okay, so let's grab all the node coordinates and paste them into our original model. So I'm going to close out of this view file that I had created. Okay, and I just wanted to show you that. Let's go back, and this time I'm just going to open up the b1.gti file that I had created. So if I go to File, Open, here you see the input file, and I'm just going to now again show you the isometric view of that building. And if I go to Modeling using Data Sheets and scroll right at the end, we can just click on one of the rows and Control V and apply. What that'll create is those node points. Okay, now the new file that I've created. Okay, I'm just going to replace the b1.gti file with this new data that I'd exported out. And now what I'm going to do in the next session is show you how to organize this model. Okay, now let's take a look at this. I'm going to organize this model using groups in GT STRUDL. Okay, so let's go in and close everything. We're going to come back into the command mode. Okay, now this is another mode. I just wanted to show you that if you can open up GTI files here also. So this is that GTI file, and at the end you should see your groupings. Okay, but it's not there yet, so we'll see how to create those groupings. Okay, now one point to note is you see the center of mass node points here in the graphics. Okay, as I'm rotating it, those nodes that are not connected, and you can, if you say LJ, just press LJ on your keyboard, you should be able to see the node coordinates in the graphics. Okay, so let's go to this command called create groups. Okay, and here you see there are some groups created. I'm just going to create some new groups. Okay, add new FL1, and we're going to create FL1 to FL5 here. Okay, so that represents the nodes on the floor except the center of mass node that we have created. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to first create these group definitions. Okay, if we organize our model properly, then you will see the benefit of how that can actually help you out to create your rigid diaphragms in your model. Okay, so let's go to one of the floors and look at the XZ view. Okay, press XZ on your keyboard, and here on this tab on the right hand side, we can create our floors. So we groups. So we click on the first group, FL1. We just go in and select this option called nodes only or joints only, and we can just draw a window and hit joints. Okay, that'll associate those node points that we had selected to those groups. Okay, now let's go in and reset the selection. Now I've zoomed in the screen just so that you can see this presentation. So I'm just going to reset the selection using that icon. You should see that on your screen in GT STRUDL 41. Here again, I'm going to click on floor 2 and select all the joints for floor 2, and then click on the joints button that does the association. Reset again. Let's select the floor 3 view. Okay, XZ again on the keyboard. Then we'll go back to our grouping, floor 3, select the node points. Okay, so there's only 4 steps. Okay, and then click on joints. Okay, and now reset that if you want. Okay, then go to the next view, again XZ, and We'll go back to the groups, okay? So see how quick it is to create these groupings. I'm just doing it on the fly. And be careful, you do not want to select that center of mass node, okay? It's not connected to anything yet. And I'm going to show you in the next video how to associate the center of mass node point to these floor joint groups that we've created, okay? So that completes our last grouping, okay? Now, what we'll do also is update our file, okay? We'll just go back to the isometric view. One thing to check is if you've done the grouping properly, okay? So always check your model. You can just go to, just select one of these groups and just say display joints, and it'll actually highlight all the nodes that belong to that particular group, okay? So you just go one by one and check it and make sure that you've done the assignment of groups properly, okay? You can also do that in an elevation view, X, Y. If you press X, Y and just click on maybe one of the floors and just click on joints, it'll show you, because you can easily make a mistake, okay? If you're not careful with this, and you may miss out some node points, or you may add unwanted node points to your groups. Okay, now what we'll do is, now that the model is clear, we can just go in and recreate that GTI file and replace it with the new information.